Hey, you're hanging out in the Link Up Lounge. I'm Tiffany Mason.
And I'm Donna Ruppel. Around here, we believe success isn't just about what you know, it's about who you link up with. This is your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities.
Donna, it blows my mind that the two of us have over 30 years of combined networking experience.
I know! We've built businesses, expanded networks, and created unstoppable momentum, all through the power of strategic connections.
AKA networking. And now we're here to guide you to do the same, starting today.
So let's dive in, connect, and start making moves you didn't even know were possible.
Welcome back to the Link Up Lounge. I'm Tiffany Mason with Virtually You, the boutique podcast management agency. And I have with me, as always, my co-host, Donna Ruppel, your Nocatee real estate expert.
This is your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities. And today, we're showing you how to tap into the gold mine you already have, your existing network. If you've ever felt like you need more leads, more exposure, more clients, this episode will show you why you probably don't need more. You just need to activate what you already have.
Right, we've said before, it is quality over quantity. So sometimes your next opportunity isn't out there. It's already in your phone, your DMs, your inbox. Your current network could be the marketing machine you've been overlooking.
Yes. Think about this. People trust people they know. So instead of chasing cold leads, what if you started reconnecting with the ones who already believe in you, the ones who already know you, the ones who already trust you?
Yeah, and I will say that actually I have had people make introductions through email or through text messages. And sometimes they just fall flat, right? Like life just gets busy and you initially connect and then you don't go anywhere from there. So it's kind of like an old hot lead. So sometimes I like to even just go revisit those old hot leads and just like, okay, what was the email? Who do I know that already connected me with someone? And for whatever reason, it wasn't the right time for the other person, or it wasn't the right time for me. Maybe now's a better time. Let me reconnect with these people.
Absolutely.
So today we are breaking down how to turn your existing network into your number one marketing tool without feeling spammy, salesy, or stuck.
Yes. First things first, we're going to map your network. So you have to know who is in your network. Most of us are connected to way more people than we realize. Former clients, coworkers, family, Instagram followers, people from your last workshop, mastermind, or networking event.
Right? Isn't it funny when you go to like invite people to an event or something and you're like, wait, I have 6,000 people in here, or I have like over 1,000 contacts in my phone. Like, who are the people hanging out in my phone even?
Yeah.
But yeah, we are connected to so many more people than what we think.
Absolutely. Back in my days of doing sales, the first thing they said was when you're looking for clients or customers, everybody knows approximately 150 people. And so they would have you literally go through your phone and write down everyone that you know that you could call or text. Okay. And it was a list of somewhere between 100 and 150 people. I don't know how many contacts are in my phone right now because I leave old contacts in there just so I know if they resurface.
But wait, how beneficial has that been?
Right? Yeah.
I don't ever delete people. And every once in a while I'm like, do I have that mom's phone number? I feel like Hannah hung out with that girl in 3rd grade and I might have taken the phone number and I'm like, oh my gosh, there she is. And now she makes cookies and I need cookies.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I don't delete anybody either out of my phone. But, think about, look at how many contacts you have. I mean, that's how many people that you have met or been introduced to in some way or another, enough that you got their phone number, which in this day and age, that's, really intimate.
Money. Literally and figuratively.
Right? Yes.
Well, and I think it's something that you maybe taught me, or you were telling the networking group, and so then you indirectly taught me. But it is the fact that your friends may not become your clients, but your clients may become your friends. So keep that in mind, that just because someone who is in your network doesn't necessarily turn into a customer or a client, the people that you do connect with again, it's that quality over quantity. You've made these clients, they are good quality clients, and now they're singing your praises. So, you know, use the people that know you. It's not always about finding somebody new, meeting somebody new. I mean, networking in general is, but then it's also about maintaining those relationships. And I think that's kind of where we are today.
Yeah, fostering and building those relationships are more important than just collecting the business cards, like we have said. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, as you're revisiting these contexts, these people that you've known, don't just jump straight into the pitch. You gotta, this step is kind of about awareness. So make a list. Think about the people that are in there, scroll through them, scroll through your LinkedIn or your email box, just like I was saying. I mean, you'll be surprised how many warm connections you already have just kind of sitting there. Like I said, that they've just kind of gone cold. There's still a warm connection because it was still from somebody that you know, that they know, a mutual connection. So don't assume who will be interested. Just focus on identifying the people you already know. I will never forget, I had this podcast client and she had connected me with a voiceover man. And he does like, if the podcaster wants a super professional intro or outro or a commercial to be made, whatever. And so she had connected me with him. And oh gosh, I don't know, it'd been like literally 9 months. And so I went through some of these warm connections that I had just hanging out. And I reached out to him, said, "Hey, so and so introduced us many months ago. It looks like, we connected and then we never really connected after that. Would you like to do, a quick little networking call?" He said, "Yes, of course, no problem." So we ended up meeting, I think, like literally the next day. And would you believe the very next day, I had a podcaster who needed a voiceover and they hired him and he did a voiceover for my client. I mean, it was the craziest thing. So you really never know. It never is detrimental to go through the warm leads that have gone cold. And I think you already kind of talked about this, but I got a list in front of me, so I'm going to reshare it for you guys. But who that existing networking may include, which would be past clients, family and friends, social media followers, coworkers and collaborators from old gigs, people you've met at events, online or offline. It's not about spamming the people, but it's just about reconnecting with intention.
Yes. So the first step is figuring out who is in that network and making a list, right? And
Yep.
then step two is going to be figuring out how we're going to activate it, right? So here are 3 steps on how we're going to activate your network. Number 1, we're going to map our network. We just talked about this. Number 2 is to create a value packed ask. So that starts with a clear, valuable ask, the keyword being valuable, right? So
Mm-hmm.
not a sales pitch, but a conversation. So, like we have said, a value ask is very important. Okay.
Yes. So you're probably thinking, like, what is a value ask? What is an example of that, right? So it's something like, "Hey, I'm working on something I think could really help so and so." And then you're going to say that type of person. "Would you mind passing it along if anyone comes to mind?" It's simple, respectful, and it gives the chance to help without pressure. It's almost like when you think of being in a networking group, what is your ask, right? So it's your valuable ask. And then hopefully you are being clear enough and using enough details that somebody does come to top of mind for them almost right away, hopefully. You're not asking for a sale, you're asking for support, feedback, or like a referral. And that feels totally different when you're on the receiving end.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you could do something. What comes to mind for me is, hey, I'm working on, I actually just did this. Like, I'm working on a free mortgage guide. And
Mm.
I think it could really help some first time buyers. Do you mind passing it along to any mortgage lenders that you know? Because I would love to get their feedback on it and have a conversation with them. It's a way for me to be able to connect with some mortgage lenders by asking for their feedback on a marketing piece that I'm offering. And so it kind of is an open doorway to have the back and forth. And obviously, a mortgage broker referral network is really helpful to a real estate agent. And so it's kind of like, it doesn't have to be, something as simple as who do you know that wants to buy a home? I have a buyer's guide. It doesn't have to be like that. It could be. But, It could also be, just an opportunity to grow your directory or your referral network. You got to get creative with this. And again, whenever somebody says get creative, I think of, okay, I'll plug it into ChatGPT because I have no creativity, but ChatGPT does. Okay.
Sure
So
does.
you can do all kinds of things. But if you're stumped for what would be a good, valuable ask of a specific type of person, you could always put it into ChatGPT. But once you know who's in your network, kind of decide what you want them to do for you or what you believe they could do for you. And it could be something like share a link with, blah, 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 attend an event. That's always a good one, inviting them to an
Yes.
event or a workshop. Obviously, refer someone. But also, it could be give you feedback. Like I just mentioned, give me feedback on this marketing material that I'm about to put out there. Because the last thing I wanted to do was put out marketing material that all of those people that are kind of tied with that are going, that's not
Yeah.
right, or that's dumb, and then it just loses
Well,
all credibility.
how good do you feel when someone asks for your opinion? Like, oh my
Right?
gosh, they think a lot of me that they would want to know what my feedback is on this, or they would want to have me go to an event with them. Like,
Yes.
oh my goodness, this is incredible, right? And I think that when you have this value ask, that people are seeing what you're working on. So they're
Yes.
like, "Oh, that was a really good idea that she had," or, "Oh, she's really an expert in X, Y, and Z," or, "Oh, this is her that's her ideal client." It
Hmm.
gives them just a little bit bigger peek into your business, and there's nothing on their end. I never got offended from someone saying, "Will you click on this link and let me know what you think?" That never
Right.
offended me. And
No.
we talked in the last episode about when someone comes at you kind of salesy, how you put that guard up. My guard is down. Like, okay. And I am I mean, you could have an ulterior motive, but I would never assume that of the person. I would be like, oh, okay, let me give them my feedback, like, yes,
Yeah.
great. And how great does it feel to give the feedback? Like, okay, this is what I noticed from an outsider's point of view, XYZ. That feels really good to support another business owner that was lacking a little bit of clarity or a little bit of confidence, that feels really
Hmm.
good too.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
another example is if you're doing a workshop or an event, you could message some people that you believe are kind of in this realm or may know somebody or whatever and say, hey, I'm launching a workshop next month on first time home buyers. It's designed for people moving into the area or people who are currently renting. Would you be open to sharing it with one or two people you think would love it? Because that's basically asking them to share your workshop, which is a value, right? So it's not asking anybody to buy something, right? It's free, it's valuable. Even if it's, a small amount of money to attend, I
Yeah.
think it's still worth asking because it's a value, right? And so you're asking somebody to share something valuable that you're putting out. I know in a previous episode, we talked about doing free guides to build your email marketing list. So asking somebody to share the free guide, like, hey, I have this buyer's guide. It's designed for first time home buyers to get an idea of what it's like buying a home. Would you be open to sharing it with one or two people you think would love it? That's just sharing free value out in the world. And
Mhm.
that, is something that I believe is a fully on the table for an ask in this networking exercise that we're talking about today.
Yeah, I agree. So you've thrown out your value ask, and the final step is going to be follow up and stay visible. And when I refer back to that example of the gentleman, the voiceover guy, and I, that's what we didn't do, right? We didn't follow up, we didn't stay visible with each other. The biggest mistake, sending one message and ghosting. Your network can't support you if they don't remember you exist. And that's why we say to be visible on social media and why to have the email marketing and all those other things. It's just one more layer of how you stay top of mind, and nurturing those relationships is another way, and checking back in and staying top of mind and staying visible, even if it's just to share a free guide.
Yes, visibility is key. I mean, you don't have to be loud. You just have to be consistent. That's a struggle bus for me sometimes, consistency, especially when we're talking about social media. But
Well, especially when we're talking about entrepreneurs, right? Like, just as entrepreneurs, it's hard to stay consistent in all the categories because of all the hats that we wear, you
right.
know?
That's where automation really helps you out. I mean, the more you can automate, the better it is. I mean, my
Uh-huh.
email marketing is so consistent because it's all automated.
Right.
Yes. So, be consistent so that you remain visible, share updates, highlight wins, let people know who you are, who you help, and how. And
I think that's one of the things that I really love from people is when they share a win. It never comes across to me as braggy, although if I was gonna do it, I think that I would feel braggy. But when someone, like, sends an email and they're like, "I just published this book," I'm like, "What a rock star." Or, like,
right,
I literally love when the realtors post that they just sold a house.
right,
I don't know what I get a kick out of it. I'm like, "Oh my god, they did it. They did it. They got
right,
that house. They showed it a couple times. Somebody bought it. It's under contract." I'm so excited for the realtor every
right.
time. It's never about the buyers or sellers for me. It's
Yes.
always about the realtor. Maybe because we're friends, but you don't really share that much about any of your transactions with me. So I don't think that's what it is. It's just for some reason I get so excited when you guys post under contract. I'm like, they
Yeah.
did it.
Well, I think it's also important because sometimes I wonder, like, did that realtor ever sell that house? Like, I want to know. Oh,
Yes.
you did. Oh, there's the buyer. Oh, that's so fun. Yeah, totally.
Or sometimes I do like when you guys are at the title company too.
Yes. You know what the funny thing is? I never remember to take a picture of the title company. I never do. And so I started doing the jumping in front of the house picture because
Yeah.
I can
Remember
always
to do that one?
do that one, yeah. But the funny thing is I have yet to get a couple to jump together. Typically, it is
Oh.
yeah, it's just the wife who's willing to do my jumping. It's so funny. Or if they're not there at all and I forget completely on the whole day because it's also big, is I'll do the jumping in front of the house by myself. But I feel like,
Yeah.
it's an important closure mechanism, right?
Okay, so going along with your saying how people want to know if you did actually sell the house or not, I also love a good journey. So I love that someone says like, "Oh, I'm studying for my real estate license." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, I got my license." And they're like, "I got my first listing." And they're like, "It's under contract." And then they're like, 5 years down the road, whatever. I love that journey.
Yeah.
So sometimes one of the journeys that I followed that I really loved was a band that I had on my podcast, and they were getting ready to lay tracks for a new record, and it was so exciting, and they were doing a Kickstarter. They were doing a Kickstarter, and I signed up for the Kickstarter, and it was so fun to be like, "Okay, we've reached this level. Okay, now we're meeting with the producer. Okay, now the record's getting cut. Okay, now we're having the release." Like, I loved all of that. I loved the journey.
Yeah.
So it may come across braggy or something, but those highlights and those wins, people are cheering you on. We wanna hear the good stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's how you can stay top of mind without it always being a salesy, pitchy kind of thing, too.
Mhm.
Is these updates highlighting wins, all those kind of posts help you stay top of mind without being those yucky posts that we don't want to see. So when the right opportunity comes up, you're the one they're going to refer because you have stayed consistent and you've stayed visible. And it doesn't all only have to be on social media, but like email marketing, in networking circles, showing up for events, things like that.
I think that our photographer did a good job with this. When she had a black and white gallery that she was working on, it started out with, "You guys, I can't believe I'm going to get to go to this gallery." And then it was like, "Okay, you guys, I'm working on the artwork for this gallery." And then it was, "I'm taking the artwork to the gallery." And then it was these posts of her at the gallery. And it came in the form of social media, but it also came in the form of email. So I think that you're right. Different mediums to share, you can share the same stuff, quite honestly, because I don't think the algorithms are our friend, and you do get to see every email, but do you read every email, So I think there's a good balance there. And the other thing I love about it is it gives you an opportunity to talk about your business without talking about your business,
Right.
right? Like if you're
Yeah.
just pumped for your homeowners and they just signed at the title company and you're just like, "Oh my gosh, this key just unlocked their next dream," like that's super exciting. And it's like you're talking about your business, but you're really just talking about the happiness you feel for the couple that just bought the house.
Right. Yes, it's a great way. So we, of course, have a few examples for you. And I just pulled a few examples based on sort of my recent experiences. But, the first example is really a social media shout out.
I know that there was a situation where one of our members had like this huge win and she posted, what's been going on and how she's so excited about it. And it was really just, this is my win, this is my success, and I've been working with this person. And what ended up happening in turn in the comments, we see, other people saying, "Oh, that's amazing. That's pretty cool, congratulations. Is she taking more clients? Does she work with this kind of person? Would she have room for me as a client?" And so just simply saying, "I worked with this person, things turned out great." Now the people that are of her network are going, "Wait a minute, maybe I want to work with that person."
Yeah.
And she didn't say, "If you want to work with this person too, here's her name and phone number."
Yes, so exactly, like, when you stay visible and sincere, people feel it and they respond, and that's why presence is just as powerful as promotion. So, having great results with your clients and having them post about their great results is, like, the best because then people in the comments can say, "Ooh, I wanna work with that person," So, I mean, the power of social media for so many things, right? And there's so many different ways that a post can be perceived and can work for your business. And so, as much as I don't enjoy social media sometimes, it's like such a powerful tool that you can't really pass it up in this day and age. I mean, that's really how you
Yeah.
can stay visible.
Yeah, I agree.
So another example we have is like an old networking event connection, right? So I met someone through networking and then, life took us in different directions and we actually didn't even live in the same state, but I followed up with her about a whole different issue. Okay. She sold something that I was interested in. So I followed up with her through Facebook Messenger actually to, get this product, right? And it opened a whole conversation asking about real estate and they were interested in moving to a different city. And
Oh, funny.
yeah, and I was like, "Oh my gosh," so we had actually not spoken for years, probably like 2 or 3 years. So I knew that I wanted what she offered, but what she came back and was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you reached out because we were thinking about selling our house and moving to this other city." So it's just kind of, crazy how just by a simple reach out, we had built that connection or relationship through networking together for we were probably in the same group for about a year, but then we kind of went different directions. The impression that was made in that group is what she was 100% relying on. Like through the
Mhm.
time that we were apart is when she moved into my area and she did a corporate move. And so they put her with a real estate agent. Life happens, whatever. I
Well, and
wasn't going to be
even though you
offended.
guys didn't stay in touch, in a professional situation or in a professional setting, you still see people's stuff pop up and you're like, "Oh, yeah, what are they up to? Oh, what are they doing?" So you never know. She was probably watching your progression in real estate and realizing like, "Oh, this is something that she's doing. Oh, and she's selling houses. Oh, and she's doing great." And then when the conversation just naturally came up, then it was a natural connection to be like, "Oh, yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
what
because I was
about."
like, "Oh, I had seen on Facebook that she had moved to my area." And, time goes quicker than we realize. So apparently
Oh,
she had
yeah.
lived there for 18 months. Who knew? But I reached out with a simple, "Oh, hey, you're in my area now. Oh, that's so exciting. Now I can, get this product from you easier, right?" And that's
Yeah.
what kind of opened the door. And it's just wild how the timing worked out. But, staying
Mhm.
connected through social media is how that connection maintained even possible. So, as much as I sometimes diss on social media, I do think it's super critical to staying connected with people. But that original connection happened with a growth of know, like, and trust in a networking connection.
Totally different capacity. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It is.
love that.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to go viral. You just need to be visible to the people that you already trust. I mean, it's no secret sauce. We're not saying anything super profound. I mean, just consistency, stay visible with the people you already know. You don't have to wear yourself out trying to
Right.
meet a whole new 700 people.
700 people. Yeah, I mean, your social media, your email, your life, your phone
Mhm.
is all filled with people who already trust you, already know you. And so when you make it easy for them to support you, they will because they want to. They just need to
Yep.
know how. I mean, isn't that the key? Like, that is the number one thing that we try and dial down into in our networking group all the time. How can I help you specifically? Like, how can I help you today specifically? You know?
Well, if you look at my social media posts, I mean, my dad is the first one to like any of them. And I asked my dad or said something to my, and he'll be the first one, and he's on all of them. I don't know if I said that. He's the first one. Okay. So I said, Dad, that's really sweet. I appreciate you doing that for me. I said, I don't know if you realize, but every interaction helps to boost that post. And he was like, well, kiddo, it's just something I thought I could do to support you in your business. and if you, yeah, it was really sweet.
So cute.
And then if you think of those posts that a lot of direct sales people, I guess that's who I see posting it, but it could really be for any small business. It's like, how can you support a small business owner? And it's like a post, comment on a post, share with a friend. It's those kind of things, right? And that's what they want to do for us. So I think those posts are helpful because it costs the people who know, like, and trust you nothing, but it still is a way for them to really support you. And that's what we're talking about here is how can we best utilize? And I love what you're saying.
Yeah.
Tell them what you need. Tell them how. What's most beneficial? Because not everybody's in this world. Not everybody has to do this. Some people do have corporate jobs, or they've never worked, or they are retired, and they just don't know.
Right. And, like back to my example of if I had a free buyer's guide and I messaged somebody and said, this is designed for people who are first-time home buyers, would you be able to share this with a couple people? I'd really appreciate it. Somebody who sees my advertisement or social media posts about a buyer's guide and isn't in the market themselves is probably just scrolling past it. But when I stop and I say, hey, would you be willing to share this with one or two people? Suddenly they're like, oh yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
They may not do it when they see the post, but through the individual ask, they're more likely to do it.
Yes.
Okay, well, it's time to flip the switch for networking mode on. This week, we want you to pick 5 people in your existing network and send them a message with that valuable ask, right? Remember something like we discussed above, like, hey, I'm working on something that could really help first-time home buyers. Would you mind passing it along if anyone comes to mind? Or a workshop or an event, ask somebody to share it. That's the type of value ask we're talking about. Then watch and see what starts to unfold. Networking mode on.
All right, networking mode is officially on. If this episode got you thinking differently about your network, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you know someone who's sitting on a gold mine of connections and doesn't even realize it, send this their way. Let's help them turn their network into the greatest marketing machine. Let's build those powerful links together.
You've been hanging out in the Link Up Lounge, your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities.
Now it's your turn. Go make a powerful link today.
Networking mode on.